Hi, I'm Patu from freefincal, and in this video, let's take a look at the NPS Tier 1 equity scheme performance, and let's find out how well it has performed against the Nifty 50 and the Nifty 100 indices. So, I have been vehemently opposed to the NPS. I've told people, please don't get into this. It's a trap. Just for that extra 50,000, just don't trap your money into this. And this is one more reason why I believe you should not. And even if you have trapped your money into this scheme, at the very least, I have told people stay away from the equity portion of the scheme. Stick to government bonds and corporate bonds in whatever proportion that you're comfortable with, and invest in equity elsewhere via mutual funds or stocks. So this is one more reason why. So let's dive in. I think I have to make a separate video of how pathetic the pension fund regulatory authority has maintained its website. The links to the individual pension fund managers are broken, and it's very hard to find the historical NAV. It's very hard to find the portfolio disclosure. My god, it's such a pain to even create these results that I'm going to show you. So I'll probably make a video on that. So let's get started. So we now have, let's see, how many of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pension fund managers: SBI, LIC, UTI, ICICI, Reliance, Kotak, HDFC, and Birla. What you see here, the assets here corresponds to the NPS individual schemes. They are not the central government or state government. NPS is not part of this. The NPS light is not part of this. The corporate NPS is not part of this. This is the individual all India subscriber assets that you see here, and you can see the inception dates. LIC is fairly recent in the game. The oldest are schemes from May 2009 onwards. HDFC is again recent. Birla is probably the youngest, just about 2 years old. And this is the July 31st, 2009 report on the NPS website. You can see that the Nifty 50 is used as the benchmark, the price index, not the total returns index. And you can see, if you pause the screen and see, or if you look at my article, you can see that some pension funds have bet the benchmark, some of them have not. Please recognize that NPS is the equity schemes, the actively managed mutual fund. It is not an index fund tracking the Nifty 50. You will see that there are close to 100 stocks. If anything, it's probably tracking something close to Nifty 100. But even then, it has not done a great job. So don't get into wrong ideas about what the equity scheme is. You are not investing in the Nifty index. So please be very clear about that. Okay, so I'm going to show you some rolling returns. These are every possible 5-year, 7-year, 10-year returns. LIC is quite new. You can just see about a few handful of 5-year returns. Notice how badly the LIC scheme has underperformed the Nifty 50 and the Nifty 100. Nifty 100 is red, Nifty 50 is yellow, LIC is in white. There are some mistakes in the historical now. That's why you see the downward spikes. That gap is too much. That's not just because of expense ratio. That gap is much more than the expense ratio. It's just poor fund management. So now you know which LIC pension fund to avoid. This is SBI. It's a little bit better. A lot more 5-year data points. The SBI data is in blue. Again, Nifty 100 is in red, and the yellow is Nifty 50. You can notice that during some portions here, the SBI fund has bet the Nifty 50, but in some portions it is not. Hence the active management. This initial part is because it was deploying the funds into stocks. Don't worry about this initial underperformance. That's not important. But it has failed to beat the Nifty 100 at all times. Sometimes it has bet the Nifty 50, sometimes it has not. It has got, these funds are close to 100 stocks and they are not able to beat the Nifty 50. I think it's pretty pathetic. That's 5 years. And then one more over 7 years. You can see again, sometimes it has bet the Nifty 50 a little bit, sometimes it is been comparable to Nifty 50. Again, nothing to shout about. What I'm worried about is the 100-year, sorry, not 100-year, 10. What I'm worried about is the 10-year performance. Again, Nifty 100 is red, and Nifty 50 is yellow. All the others, UTI, SBI, Kotak, and yeah, there are only three. UTI is green, Kotak is pink, and SBI is blue. All the green line, pink line, and the blue line are comfortably below it. The very significant underperformance over 10 years, just about a few hundred data points, but still it's poor performance over 10 years, and there's no excuse. And if you're trying to actively manage a fund over 10 years, you should beat the benchmark, and they've not done it. So so it's pretty bad. I mean, I'm unimpressed, and I'm not surprised in a way. There's no real incentive for these pension fund managers to do anything of so. Don't. That's why I'm saying don't commit your money to NPS at all. If at all you're committing because you have some wrong ideas of tax saving and all that, or if you're forced to do it, commit it only to the gilt funds and the corporate bonds. Have more of gilt funds, a little bit of corporate bonds, but as you head close to retirement, reduce the gilt exposure. Have more of corporate bond exposure. This is the reason why, as a government servant, or as a person having a government NPS, I have not changed my asset allocation. I still have only 15% equity in my NPS. That's the default setup from, I think, what is that? I wrote in the post from 2010. Next year, next May, I think it will be next May or March, it will be 10 years. 10 years in NPS. I have got 9.8% XIRR. That's what I remember offhand. It's from this portfolio. It's extremely good returns. I'm very, very happy about this. I will not change it. Many NPS subscribers have asked me if they should change. Government subscribers have asked me if they should change asset allocation. Please do not change your asset allocation. Have equity exposure elsewhere. For others, stay away from NPS. If you have already started NPS, then stay away from at least the equity portion of the NPS. It's a waste of money, and it's a please invest in equity elsewhere. Have a mix of corporate and guilds, more of guilds, and then towards retirement you can reduce the guild exposure because it will be too volatile. So that's what I wanted to say in this video. So if you have any questions, comments, leave them below and I'll try to answer them. I have not done a Q&A for a couple of weeks. I should get to it. I will do it soon. So thank you. Bye bye.